start the podcast with that.
San Diego means whale's vagina.
San Diego means that?
It's from Anchorman.
Oh.
All right, guys. Welcome back. Tipitout, episode 6, coming at you live from Butler's Cabin in Augusta, Georgia. Baby, it's Masters Week. I got the Masters hat on. It feels like goddamn Christmas Eve right now. Couldn't be any more excited for the Masters this year. We got a full slate of Masters themed podcast bits coming at you guys here. First, let's welcome in our other guys in the studio. Ben Foltz, what's up, Ben?
Hello. How we doing today?
Doing great, man. Doing great. Mac Belovich, excuse me.
Mac Foltz.
The lefty, welcome.
Hey, I'm doing great. I'm liking all these lefties coming into the Masters. As always, it fits us, It
does fit the lefties.
It's my favorite week of the year for other reasons.
Yeah, just a quick nugget, a quick brag. Your boy right here, Evan Farrar, I will be going to the Masters Saturday, Sunday, and I feel like a kid in a candy shop. I'm so excited. It's going to be awesome. I'm really, really excited.
So jealous, but so happy. So happy Tipitout Golf has man on the inside.
We got a man in the ropes, baby. Inside the ropes. I can't wait to come back and tell you guys all about it. But
don't get kicked out.
Yeah, I don't want to hear about it, actually. Don't tell me a thing.
A lot of pimento cheese sandwiches are going to be eaten. A lot of like $3 Bud Lights. It's going to be a terrible weekend to be a Bud Light. It's going to be a terrible weekend to be playing against Corey Connors because
I knew you were going to rope it back in.
Congratulating and shouting out Corey Connors winning the Valero Texas Open today. Gotta like him looking into Augusta, man. I mean, he's had some really good finishes. Some really good finishes. He's just a pure ball striker, and
you can always tell when Corey Connors is playing well too because his sunglasses don't rest on his ears, kind of pulled up a little bit. He's in race mode.
They're on the hat.
Yeah, he's just going,
like
bro.
All it's birdies. Like the Crocs in sport mode.
Just nothing but birdies, baby. Yeah. I love it.
So we got a couple of things to start us off. I think first, just to kind of get in the mood and the spirit of Augusta and the Masters, we're going to do some trivia. We've all kind of prepared a couple of trivia questions. I'll go ahead and kick us off.
I love it.
So
I've been brushing up on my Masters.
I did a little bit of research, not enough, but
I'm gonna have a tally open here to see how many questions we all get right.
Okay.
And let's do that. So first, we're going back to the 2017 Masters. Pretty easy. Two-part question here. What hole did Sergio Garcia eagle on the final round of the 2017 Masters? And who did he beat in the playoff to win the Masters?
So what hole did he eagle? I feel like we should answer that question first.
Yeah,
so I remember him winning. I remember him. Did he par 16? I think he parred 16.
I think he parred 16. I think
he had a really good shot on 16, and I was mad because I didn't want him to win.
Team Rose probably over here.
Little favoritism right there. Okay.
Eagle.
It's gotta be a par 5.
Gotta be a par 5. Yep,
gotta be a par 5.
Which
I feel like 13's. I feel like 13's too easy of an answer.
All right. So what's your answer?
No.
13.
No, it was 13.
It was not. It was hole 15.
Gosh, I remember him hitting a dart in there into 13 though.
With his second shot, almost fucking dunked it for an albatross. Ricocheted out to 15-ish feet, and he made it for eagle. And then who did he beat in the playoff?
Who did he beat in the playoff?
May or may not have mentioned his name already.
Justin Rose.
Point to Mac.
Corey Connors.
Corey Connors.
All right, next trivia question. Who is the youngest player ever to win the Masters? And if you know how old he is, I'll give you an extra point.
Oh, I know the
Jordan
answer.
Spieth in 2015 at
Damn it, that's what I was gonna
At
say, dude. You just took
20
it.
years old.
Yeah, he's 20.
Great guess. I think
No, he's 21. He was 21.
he was 21 when he won, but he was older than Tiger Woods when he won in 1997 at age 21. Tiger Woods is the correct answer there.
What? By what? A week?
By like a couple months.
A couple months, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, good guess. I would
Hey,
love
I'm claiming a half point on that. Same here.
It's a tiebreaker. The tiebreaker is going to go for that. And then oldest Masters champion. And how old was he?
Oh,
I gotta say Watson, maybe. Watson or it's got to be one of those guys or Faldo. I feel like I saw
He's
that.
not a
How
current,
old
he's
was
not a current
Nicholson
generation
anymore?
player. He's not a current.
yeah, I didn't think so.
Yeah,
How old
it's
was
one of those.
Nicholson
It's one of those
when
greats that are on the broadcast now or doing
Yep.
something. You know,
Well,
one
he
of
won
that
at
era.
06, pretty iconic Masters.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Tom Watson.
Watson. Okay, Ben, you got to
I'm
guess.
going. I'll go with Phil Mickelson, but I'm not too confident in that.
Neither of those are right. Jack Nicklaus, 46 years old, 1980.
I knew it.
I'm a
God.
little bit disappointed that you guys didn't get that either of those, but that's okay.
Oh, that was my other guess, but it seemed too obvious.
When it comes to age, come on now.
Yeah. All right. Which three golfers have successfully defended their Masters win by going back to back? There's three that have
Tiger Woods, Jack Nicklaus,
yes,
Faldo,
and Faldo.
Nick Faldo.
Two to Ben.
Yeah, because you.
Two to Ben
Yes.
and one to Mac. We are now tied up at 2 points apiece.
All right, let me throw one in there. Let's get Evan on the board.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Let me hop in here.
All right. What's the largest score made on hole 12? And if you can name,
Oh God.
if you can name the player who made it, that's an extra point.
This is a complete guess. 10, and it was. I don't know.
Well, if you said 10, it'd be Tiger Woods.
I
Tiger Woods
was
made
gonna
it
guess
10.
Tiger Woods.
Yeah, didn't he make a 10?
He
Or
might
was
have.
it a 9?
I was gonna say Tiger Woods, but
Yeah.
It's
10,
I don't
10
know.
Tiger Woods. Sure, I'll go with that. Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I know Jordan Spieth made like a 9 in 2016, so that's the only one I know.
7, but yeah.
It was 7.
It was actually the number's 13.
Who made
Wow.
that?
Tom Weiskopf in
Tom
1980.
That's a brutal stat to be a part of, right there.
Yeah.
There's a couple of 13, but that was the biggest name. How about this? So in 1987, Larry Mize, he beat 2 players in the playoff. Can you name both of those players?
Larry Mize. What year?
1987.
I got 3 names in my. I got 3 names that I probably maybe might have. Nah.
One of them are going to be like, oh, I should have known that.
Jack. I'm gonna
No.
guess Jack. I know Nick Faldo won it like 89 or 90, so I'm gonna guess Nick Faldo. My last guess is
Mark
Greg
Leishman.
Greg Norman is one of them. Mark Leishman.
Greg Norman.
Mark Leishman was not
The
playing
live.
for the Masters.
The live Augusta. There's one more.
I can't guess the second one. I don't have no idea. Honestly, I have no idea.
I guess like Azinger.
No, is
Phil Mickelson?
Dude, get your errors right.
Phil?
I think Phil turned pro in like 90,
Yeah.
92 or something
92,
like that.
93, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, bro. I don't
It was
know.
a 7.
I can't go back that far.
Larry Mize beat Greg Norman
Yeah.
and Seve Ballesteros to win the Masters
That's hype.
in a playoff.
If you ever want to like talk about like close calls of the Masters or like somebody coming in second place, Greg Norman's a good guess because that man gotten so
Hey,
many.
and to piggyback off of that,
Okay.
who has finished second the most without winning? I got a multiple choice. So
I
who
know
has
this
finished
one.
second?
I know this. I actually know this one. I know this one because it was one of mine too.
Oh, really?
I
Okay,
won't-
let's see
yeah, I
if
won't
Farrar,
guess.
let's see
I
if
won't
Farrar
guess.
can get this. We got A, Justin Rose, B, Tom Weiskopf, C, Johnny Miller, or D, Louis Oosthuizen.
I can think of 2 or 3 instances of Louis Oosthuizen finishing second. Johnny
I'm just
Miller,
put in the spot.
I've never heard his name in a Masters discussion, so I don't think it was Johnny Miller. Tom
You also weren't
Weiskopf,
live when he was in Masters discussions.
yeah, Tom
Yeah.
Weiskopf, I don't. know anything about him at the Masters. Like that name doesn't ring a bell. So it's either got to be Louis, and who is the fourth name?
Justin Rose.
Justin Rose. I know Justin Rose finished second to Sergio. I don't think he finished second any more than that. I mean, like maybe he has one more that I'm blanking on. So I'm gonna go Louis.
Yeah, Louis. That is incorrect. It's actually Tom Weiskopf.
Damn, I don't know anything
And,
about
and actually, Johnny Miller is on the top 3 list for most.
Damn.
Second place finishes.
Wild. Let me hop in here because I got a good one to follow that one up, and I'll do a couple here. So who has the most top 10s of all time in the Masters? Fairly large name.
I mean, Jack
I'll
Nicklaus.
give you. Okay.
He's got like.
Do you know how many?
He's got 6 green jackets, and he's got.
Yeah. How many top 10s do you think?
I'm gonna go
with 10.
11.
Wow. Undershot it by half. 22.
22 top 10s. Damn.
He's also made the cut 37
Augusta?
times.
Can you imagine playing Augusta 88 times at least?
Yeah, right. That'd be sweet. Okay, so this is a fun one. In what year did the old name Augusta National Invitational get phased out and the new name of the Masters was used?
Oh, I read this. I've read this.
Then you should know it.
1939.
What are these questions, dude? This was supposed to be hard and fun.
You got that, Mac?
1 point for Mac. 1939.
Wow.
They phased out the Augusta National Invitational.
It used to be the Augusta National Invitational.
Yeah. Okay, so my last one here then is, hopefully this won't be as easy, Mac. But it's who holds the record for the most appearances at the Masters of all time?
Gary Player.
All right, well,
I
chose the worst questions of all time.
Do ceremonial tee shots count?
Do you know how many times he's appeared at the Masters?
I know he won in 3 different decades. He won in the 60s, he won in the 70s, he also won in the 80s.
So when did he start? He's played in every one.
That's like 30. That's like 30 years right there. I'm gonna round that up and say like he probably kept playing in the 90s for a couple of years too. I'm gonna go like 40.
I was gonna say 45.
Oh, pretty close. He's 52.
Oh.
Yep.
The dude, how old is he? Probably like 80 something. He's played half of his life. He's been playing the Masters. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
He's played Augusta at least 108 times.
Yeah. Yep.
At least. We had both
quick math right there.
It's more than that.
That's absurd. Hey, at least you see all the noise going on around him about not being allowed to play. He's like, they won't let me play. I need to go with a member.
I mean, you wear a Golf Saudi like logo on your shirt, hitting a ceremonial tee shot in the midst of all of the controversy, and then his son or his grandson a couple years ago, like I don't know if he tried to like do like a marketing ploy where he was in the back of a picture holding up a sleeve of balls or a hat of some logo. He got a bunch of blowback for that too. So, I mean, he shot. I don't really have a lot of sympathy for the guy. Like he shot himself.
Just in general.
Yeah,
I've never really. To be honest, I've never really liked Gary Player.
Yeah,
but
okay.
Dude's fit.
Dude's
fit for the tips.
Okay, I have 2 more questions unless anyone else has one.
No, run it.
Go for it.
What is the course record at Augusta, and which 2 golfers have shot that?
Dustin Johnson.
Nope.
Oh, I saw this one. I know this one too.
Wait, this like scoring, like the
I'm sorry, single round. Dustin Johnson does have the 72 hole.
Okay.
Single round is the lowest score is 63.
Are you fucking cheating right now? Are you looking this up?
No.
The 60. It's like 80% chance it's gonna be 63 on any course.
Yeah, it's 63.
Yeah,
it's 63, and I
was gonna say that too. But, I was thinking of the golfers.
Oh, I don't remember.
It can't be Tiger. I don't think Tiger never really went low.
No, it's not Tiger. No, it's like I think maybe Gary Player.
Good guess, not the Gary Player. Tough. You're not gonna get one of them, but the other one you might. I'll give you guys each one more guess.
Greg Norman.
Oh.
Greg Norman is correct. That is one of them.
Yeah, it is. It is actually. Yeah, fuck.
Greg
I knew
Norman,
it was Greg Norman.
there was one other.
Don't say it yet. Don't say it.
It was in the 86 Masters, and it was not.
I know.
It was in the 1986 Masters. It was not Jack that won that year.
You're gonna say it. I'm gonna know. Just say it.
It's Nick Price. Tough one. I don't think you guys would have got that, but it was.
I probably no. I never would have got that one.
No, I saw that one though, so I should have known it.
What hole did Bubba Watson win the 2010 Masters on in a playoff?
10.
And who did he beat?
100.
Who did he beat in the playoff?
In 2010.
2010.
I can tell you all about the shot he hit.
It's fucking the craziest shot ever, like in Masters history.
It was a cool shot.
110 yards with like 40 yards of draw.
Snap hook, 40-yard draw.
With a 60.
Yeah. He was on the list.
Who did he beat? Justin Rose?
His name has been mentioned on this.
It wasn't Louis, was it?
It was Louis Oosthuizen.
Wow, it was Louis Oosthuizen? Wow.
He's come too close, man.
Shoot, I would have never guessed Louis, to be totally honest.
Mac is going to take our win with the most trivia questions correct today. Congrats, Mac.
Yeah, you got to ask the most.
Go brush up on the history before you go visit the grounds.
I also asked the most amount of questions, so I think that this.
Hey, that's irrelevant.
Yeah.
So let's move into our next segment here. Our picks for this year. Who, you can go bets, you can go top tens, you can go winners. We just kind of wanted to do a segment about who we think it might win this week.
All right,
Mac,
I'm going to start us off. I'm going to go all heart on this one. If I would put the house on Jordan Spieth to win outright. My thought process here is really simple. It's Jordan Spieth, and he is just amazing on that course. But he's also won the past 2 tournaments falling.
You're gonna bring in a little bit of superstition, huh?
Oh, absolutely.
On Easter, right? He's won the last 2.
Yeah, he's won the last 2 times on Easter. Last year was Valero, and the year before that was maybe RBC, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And this year, Master Sunday falls on Easter, so he's the second coming of Christ. Obviously,
the chosen one.
He is truly the chosen one. He will rise again at Augusta. But in all seriousness, I have two picks. I would still put a little money on Jordan to win outright at plus 1,800. I mean, that's a no-brainer. He's playing well.
Mm-hmm.
The superstition is in his favor.
Yep.
But I would also add Scotty to top 5. He's just playing unreal golf, and he's the defending champ. He knows how to get it done on that golf course.
Best player in the world. Hottest player in the world.
It seems too good to be true, honestly, for him to just not be in the top 5.
Yeah.
And then another one I like, maybe a little bit of a dark horse, is Minwoo Lee to top 10.
Ooh, top 10.
I don't know what the odds are on that. I don't believe they've come out yet, but I will be putting money on that. He's had some good performances. He one performance last year, I believe.
Yeah,
was his first year.
He won the Scottish Open last year, and then he just finished up there. I forget which event the past couple of weeks, but
it was Players.
Yeah,
Players. Yeah.
Yeah. So he's a good player. He's someone to watch out for. I think he'll have a good run this year at the Masters.
Dude arguably gets the most amount of ball speed out of his frame, out of like anyone on the PGA Tour. It's ridiculous.
Even more than Rory.
It's even more than Rory. It's ridiculous, and he's like 150 pounds maybe, and like a skinny, short stature. But oh my God, does he rip it? So I think Augusta
cruises like 190
distance too. Augusta likes the driving distance. So
it does, absolutely.
I don't.
And he's got the iron game to back it up too.
Yep.
So
Ben, you want to let us?
Sure. Yeah. So I had a little bit of overlap, and then I had 2 of my own picks here. So obviously, Scotty Scheffler seems like a very obvious pick. You kind of just have to go with Scotty. I mean, dude's number 1 right now. He's playing unbelievable golf. I mean, there's nothing more consistent right now in the PGA Tour than Scotty being top 10, or I mean, honestly, even like Scotty being top 5 might even be super consistent too. So pretty much just throw it out there. Like, it's a good pick.
Yep.
Probably can't go wrong with picking him.
Somebody
and then obviously exactly. I also had a lot of equity in Jordan Spieth. I mean, he's my boy. I love Jordan Spieth. I didn't lean too much into the superstition though. I mean, he was top 3 a couple weeks ago. I forget which tournament, but he's playing super well. Like, he's been up there, in contention this entire year so far. and I feel like he's got a little bit of an eye for Augusta. Definitely likes it. So, and then on top of that, with the superstition, it seems like a lock. So they're definitely going to be duking it out. I hope at the top of the leaderboard. But then my other two picks, which are kind of like under the radar, I guess, was Rory McIlroy, which is not really under the radar. I mean, he's a great golfer, but I would definitely pick him for like a top 10. I feel like he's another guy that's pretty consistent. He's always in contention. He's played Augusta a billion times before too, so he knows the course. You can kind of count on him to be pretty consistent at Augusta. So
he hits that draw.
Definitely a good pick.
He finished second last year. I mean, that's
right?
like a good storm. He completes the career Grand Slam if he wins. That'd be
and also, I mean, that driver change at Dell, maybe, I think it was.
Mm-hmm.
But, straightened him out a little bit.
Putter change, too.
Could be dangerous.
Putter change.
Oh, yeah, he went back to the Scotty. Which is actually arguably more important because that's there's a premium on putting well and driving well driving well, but driving far.
Yes.
And we'll get into that in our next segment. I'm excited. But the other thing that I love about Rory is like he's been showing that he's got that resilience too to play well. Up against like all these brand new, like really good golfers, just people playing out of their mind, new top number ones and all this. So, and he's just still there, so pretty good pick. And then I would say kind of my like long shot is Billy Horschel. Billy Horschel's been playing really well. He's been around. He's been around,
The darkest of horses.
Yeah, and the other thing too that I like about Billy is he's got a good swing for Augusta too. Like I feel like Augusta's going to fit his eye a little bit. I feel he's got the strength in the wedge game. He's got the strength in the putting. Like he looks so solid on like 10, 15 feet in. So I would not say that I would pick him as a winner, to be totally honest. Just because of his experience, but I would definitely pick him for like a top 10. I feel like he's going to be up there in contention too. So
I like it.
Yeah, those are my 4 picks. I'm curious to see how this shakes out because there's like 15 locks.
There's so many things that just look so good on paper, right? It's like all these look so good on paper, but we'll see what happens this week.
It's the beauty of golf.
Let's see. Well, I'm pulling up his Masters finishes. Let's see.
Yes.
We got last year he's 43rd, and then a T50, T38, T56 cut, T17 in 2016. So,
okay.
Not a great track record. He's made the cut most of the year, but
No, but he's been on the hunt this year so far. So I'm curious to see what will happen. Like I said, it was a long shot.
I like it. I like it.
It's a 100% long shot. Hey, so anybody can catch fire any week.
Yeah, exactly. And he looks so good right now.
I got four picks here. All winner plays.
Going for gusto.
So first, we already mentioned his name, but there's a little bit more data behind why I like Corey Connors so much at the Masters this week. Not only is he hot right now, his past 3 Masters, he's finished T10, T8, T6. Dude plays very, very well at Augusta. One of the premier drivers of the golf ball in the game.
Ball
striker. And just a little nugget. I hope somebody can find this stat anywhere, but he might be the only PGA Tour winner with a 4-putt during the week. The dude 4-putted from like 6 feet and still found a way to win this week. So that makes me feel good.
I know we didn't do birdies and bogies, but my birdie of the week would be the stat they pulled up that he said they're like he had no 3-putts this week except a 4-putt.
They did say that. That was funny. So Corey Connors, why not? The other guy we've been talking a lot in this pod.
Why not you, Corey?
Great, Jason Day. We've been hot on Jason Day. He's been playing unreal golf. Like from just 2023, he's like the second. Like if you just took the tournaments of 2023, he's like the second ranked golfer in the world behind Scotty. Playing unbelievable golf, and he has 4 top 10s and 2 like second places or 2 top 3s in the Masters in his career. So a course that he plays really well, has had some success at Augusta. I don't think that's a baseless.
No, not at all.
Pick. I think that there's some serious data behind Jason Day potential win.
Honestly,
and if he gets a
Jason
little
Day,
bit of vertigo on the backside on Sunday,
we need
better
to-
watch out.
Yeah. We
Sound the
don't need
alarm.
any
Jason
vertigo.
Day.
We don't need any
Yeah.
vertigo. Hopefully he's got that under control.
based on how
Honestly,
Jason Day's been playing right now, that's a good pick. That's a really good pick, in fact.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's almost, I would argue that's almost like a top 10 lock.
Yeah, for sure.
I'd be really surprised if he missed the cut or played bad. Like he's just playing so well.
Yeah.
You know? Obviously, I have Scotty in here. We've already covered that. Nothing else needs to be said
Nothing
about
new about that one.
Another
Be
little
creative.
dark horse here, who's been, according to Data Golf and Data Golf rankings, is actually like a top 6, top 7 player right now in terms of strokes gained throughout this year. Xander Schauffele, no major champions, hasn't really. You don't really like. He hasn't really been in too much contention this year, but like has been playing solid. You know, nothing crazy, but he's been solid, like top 7 strokes gained for the season so far. Past 3 Masters finishes: T2, T17, T3. So another guy that's kind of played very well here. He has the game to win a major. It's just like if he can get the job done. So I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing with Xander too, is the mental block. It almost seems like, because he has performed well at the Masters. I think that's the only major he has performed well out at.
Yeah.
I mean, this is completely just eye test. I don't actually know the stats, but it just seems like whenever he gets into these majors, it's just like he's unprepared mentally or something. Like he could be coming in with the best game. So
yeah, like when that T3 finished in 2019, he hit in the water in 16. He was right there. Like he was playing with Tiger, and Tiger hits it to. I don't know if he was playing with Tiger. Might have been the group in front of Tiger, but he.
Group in front of it was Tony and
Tiger. Yeah,
and he was in Hideki's group in 2022, 2021.
21, yeah. So, I
like that pick a lot.
I want to throw a dark horse out there like no one's really thinking about, but that who's actually been playing pretty well this year and has had some success here. So I just threw his name out there.
I like that.
Nugget that's really interesting, and I think adds a little bit of spice to the Masters is Brooks Koepka just won the live event this week.
He's hot.
15 under. I'm not saying he's hot because he's played like dog shit the rest of the year, but but
wins an event, but no, he's dog shit.
No, I just think like Brooks in majors, we haven't seen it in a while, but there was a 5-year stretch where he did not finish outside the top 5 in any major. Like he was always in contention. One of when I was we were in college playing for Worcester when he was doing all this, and like he just had a killer instinct that like I just like looked up to. Like the dude was just a stone cold killer, one of the few people to like hold off a Tiger charge on Sunday. I think it just makes it it's an interesting storyline going into the week, right? Like can he get back to major championship quality golf? Just he just finally won. He's playing well. It'd be a fun thing to look out for.
Now, do you think if a live player does win the Masters, like Greg Norman says, is every player going to come out to the 18th green to celebrate?
I don't know.
Is that going to happen?
If they all made the cut, then maybe, but
never know.
I don't know about live, dude. Like we do like a Masters draft where we pick 5 guys, kind of like a high school or college golf roster, and it's count the low 4 scores. And I don't know if I'm going to pick any live guys. Like I don't know. It's such a question mark. But I'm also like it's such a. It's also
There's a few that I think will probably go off the board though. Like probably DJ, probably Brooks, probably Cam Smith. But besides that, maybe Patrick Reed.
Yeah.
But we're gonna ostracize whoever does.
We just haven't seen.
I will personally, at least.
We haven't seen all these players play in the same tournament so long that it's going to be really fun to watch. See some live guys again. Get some bad guys. I think Ben's made this point a couple times. There's no bad guys. There's no guys to root against on the tour anymore. But you're introducing Patrick Reed, DJ Brooks, Bryson, some guys you historically maybe root against to the mix, and I'm really excited for that. So
I would say the other thing that makes picking a live guy for betting purposes or even just pick purposes is, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I haven't really been watching the live, so I haven't really been like staying up on their golf game. Like I just know like who's winning the tournaments, and that's about it. I don't really watch them play, so I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, Brooks Koepka's been bombing it off the tee recently. He looks amazing over his putts, or he looks good like getting up and down, or because I just don't know. So
yeah,
I'm probably not gonna pick
the only person I could name who won a live tournament this year is Brooks Koepka, because I literally just heard it from Ferrara. it's literally the only
5 minutes ago.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I don't know. Can't wait.
I like it. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
I'm so geeked for the Masters.
So
it's gonna be amazing, boys.
We have a cool little segment coming up here that I don't think it's a little unique. We wanted to dive into a couple of different shots around the course at Augusta that we think are interesting and challenging and cool. We kind of want people to be paying attention to like the type of golf shot that these players have to hit, not just like watching golf and seeing what happens, but like being like, oh, this is a tough shot and he's got to really think about this. And he's, like there's a lot of variables and a lot of cool shots out there. So hopefully through this segment, I know we will be really interested in the shot shapes and the kind of strategy behind a couple of these shots at Augusta. But let's go ahead and dive into this.
Yeah. Hey, really quick. One thing I wanted to say is I really wanted this segment to be, featured here, mostly because it makes the golf more fun to watch. Like if you're thinking about the shots that all these guys are hitting, you kind of put yourself in their shoes, and then you're more engaged in watching the sport. So I think it's just going to be really fun.
You won't fall asleep on the couch like everybody's dad.
Yeah, right, exactly. No, watch the broadcast with a purpose, I think. So I think these will be fun too.
Yeah, and I would say I think we have basically 3 holes picked out, 10, 11, and 12. And from watching the ANWA, the women's amateur, and watching Rose Zhang win, she almost lost the tournament on these 3 holes, I would argue.
Yeah.
I think these 3 holes are very important, and she navigated them really well, given that she hit a few bad shots, but got out of it. So I think especially 10, 11, and 12, start of the back 9, can win or lose you the tournament. So without further ado, let's jump right into it to hole 10. So we got a little visualization here, more multimedia from the boys.
Love this.
So Ferrari, do you want to run us through the tee shot on 10?
Yeah. So dogleg left. It definitely it calls for a draw off this tee shot for sure. Players that can hit a draw or lefties that can hit a cut, severe advantage here. You see a lot of players hitting something less than driver off the tee, even though this is a 500-yard par 4. It's because the reason why they're hitting 3-woods or hybrids or even like driving irons off this hole is that you can go through the fairway, and we've seen Bubba Watson go through the fairway, and in that 2010 playoff. It's just a really interesting tee shot. That's a lot of strategy behind it. Like you'll see throughout the week, you'll see people hit driver, you'll see people hit 3-wood, you'll see people hit iron. So if you look on this map we have pulled up, the first yellow circle is what, 250 yards?
200, and then this is 250, 300.
200, 250, 300. You see like the very faint yellow circle there is 250, and the last one is 300. So when this tee shot, if I had this tee shot, I do hit a draw. But I don't know how much advantage there is to hit driver here. Like I feel like if you hit a good drive, you are going to gain some strokes, but the miss with a driver creates a lot of problems, because like if you're trying to hit a draw and you accidentally hit it straight, you push it a little bit, you have an incredibly difficult second shot. So I think 3-wood for me is like the safest and most, if you play this hole 100 times, you're going to make probably the lowest average score by hitting 3-wood, because you're going to take double kind of out of play.
I'll throw something into the mix here too. Scroll up a little bit, I guess, just so we can see the green there a little bit.
Yeah.
The way that 10 is shaped, yeah, that's helpful. So if you notice, the green is kind of pushed over onto the right side of the fairway there.
Yeah.
So I think the reason why most people avoid taking driver here is because you can't be right. If you're on this right side, you are screwed. You're not only blocked, it's very possible to be blocked out by trees, but also like the approach into the green you're just not on a very favorable side. You're going to have to hit some cut over all the fat of the fairway and everything. So I think like blowing a 3-wood 275, just kind of on the inner left edge of the fairway is what you'll see most often.
Even if you can get out to about 250 at least, 270, you're going to get another 40 yards of roll because it's literally straight downhill. What is it, like 97 meters, like almost 100 yards downhill. To the green.
And another cool thing about this hole, that bunker does not come into play ever, and it's like the biggest bunker on the course, and it's the coolest looking bunker. Like when you see it, like when you're watching guys hit approach shots in there, the coolest looking bunker never ever comes into play unless you like have to punch out. But just a little nugget. The also thing is the second shot, even if you hit 3-wood, is a mid iron that is to a very very narrow green that you can't really miss. Like
it slopes hard from that right green side bunker down to the trees. Like if you put a little too much side spin on it or something, you're down in the rough on the left.
Like short, you'll see some people miss short. Short's an okay miss. Left is like the safer of the miss, but it's still a pretty tricky up and down. I mean, it's just a really really tough second shot too. Like the drive is really interesting, and even the second shot is just as interesting because of how hard
and not even to mention on that second shot you're playing off a downslope too, like a severe downslope, so your stance is all wacky, which, and I mean, at least for a lefty, it's definitely this shot would live rent free in my head for a while because when I'm on a downslope I usually tend to cut the ball a little bit more than I'm used to. I kind of leave it out a little bit. And so, which is fine, with the miss being left. But this is like, I feel like the shot in kind of calls for something like a draw to hold the green.
For a lefty,
or, to work it that way. And then on top of that, like you said, you're hitting, we'll probably have, with my distance, I'd probably have 175, 180 yards in, hitting a 6-iron, maybe a 7-iron with the downhill. Like it's a incredibly hard shot. Walking out with par on this hole is gaining strokes on the field.
I had it in my mind that your approach shot's probably gonna be around 185 ish. And then, of course, I was going for like a fun scenario. So, back right pin placement, kind of tucked behind the bunker. Even if like there's no wind, that's still such a hard shot. It's such a low percentage shot too, because you have to hit this kind of slider from left to right into the green in order to even just hold the green. And then you have the bunker on the right, which is just super intimidating because, by the way, the POV from that bunker is nothing behind the green. It's just a void, so you don't want to go long on that bunker shot. Really cool hole. I think when I'm watching this broadcast here, I'm going to be seeing, I'm going to really be diving into what are the guys taking off the tee and where are they lining it up. Hopefully we get some like behind the scenes shots of them teeing off and maybe some shot tracker too, because it'd be really interesting to see where they take that initial line. I'm curious to see if they hug the trees a little bit like we have showing up here in the visualization, or if they're trying to like pull it off the right trees. So we'll see what happens there. I'm going to be looking at that, and then the approach shot shape into the green here. I think it's going to be huge too. It's going to be really fun to watch. I know some guys too that are all into these big high cuts and everything. So I'm curious to see what kind of shots they hit in here. It'll be fun.
I think I noticed. I think it might just be because of the tee location for the Anwa, but a lot of them did hit cuts off 10T, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, okay. I think like Rose and Lignell and Bay, they all hit draws off the tee, which is I think the right shot shape. But I think a fair amount of them did hit cuts. So, and they hit the ball so high now in the pros, or they can if they need to. I feel like it's going to be a lot like 16T at the players at Sawgrass.
I think so.
If they can, they're going to take a high cut over the trees.
Yeah,
because it's just the most controlled too at that point.
Yep.
So that'd definitely be interesting.
Yeah, that's gonna be a really fun one to watch. Is there any chance, Mac, can you pull up the approach shot into 10 picture that I found? from the fairway.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That one's just cool. It's just cool to look at. Honestly, I really want to highlight it here. It's kind of cool. It really perfectly emphasizes that 185-yard shot with that back right pin placement. Puts a little bit of context too into like the kind of shots that these pros are looking at on their way in.
Yeah, I definitely. Here we go.
Sweet. Okay, so this is a great example. Maybe it's a little bit closer to the green. This is probably only like 160 something, but
yeah, I'd probably say it's
either way, it looks very similar. This is also at the top, kind of. There's a little gully in there off the tee, but either way, so like this is perfectly emphasizes like what you're looking at when you're hitting this approach shot. And you need to hit that high cut.
Yeah.
That high cut, like. Right, and you can also see if you're in that right bunker there, there's nothing behind the green. Like you don't want to be down there. It's not friendly at all. I mean, even with that, you might be short-sighted if you're on the right side, but that's even more reason to not go over there.
You can't get the ball to stop on the green.
Exactly.
Anyways,
this picture also I like that. It just shows like how a short left miss is a really good spot to be. Like if you
And you're still 20 feet below the putting surface.
Yeah, you're definitely. I mean, I'm not saying it's an easy.
It's not. It's
like, look at the green you have to work with, and you can just kind of see like even pin high left is going to be down the hill. It's going to be really tough when you bring those bushes into play. But like a short left, if you're not going to hit the green, you're going to want to miss it short left. And I think that paints a pretty clear picture here. So
and also that bunker on the right, even more reason not to go right is that bunker. I think is like 6 feet, 5-6 feet deep.
Yeah. That's a massive lip on the edge of that bunker, But the other thing that I love about it too, and this is the last thing I'll say about it, is you see how the hole kind of like sets you up for that shot shape, that like high cut shot shape for righty golfers. I think it's so interesting. You could you just look at this picture and you could see the shot you need to hit in there, and need to hit that high shot. Kind of float it in there in the back pin, land it middle of the green, and let it roll out. So great picture there. Cool scenario as well. Really curious to see how they play that hole. It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, let's move on to hole number 11. I think the tee shot is kind of self-explanatory. They've widened the fairway and whatnot, so I think we can kind of skip over that a little bit.
They took some trees down on the right too, so if you miss it way right, it's like there's like a second fairway over there.
Yeah,
can if you fairway's big and there's like OB left, so like obviously left is dead. So like even if you blow it way right. And you get like over just right of like the initial pine trees that are there, it's like a second fairway, even with a really good angle. So
agreed. But I think
can you back to the tee shot?
Yeah, I can.
God, that green is awesome.
But you can see, so this is cool. This is where they took those trees out. So this all right here used to be mulch and pine straw, but then they took it out and they left a few trees as whatnot.
Some defense.
But it's already such and like I said, it's already such a hard second shot. I think this is where this hole really
awesome
plays. And what this top down view doesn't really show is that fairway kind of slopes to the green, and then the green slopes into the water too, which is so. I think a lot of players, if I'm not mistaken, they'll maybe hit a little draw, or they're kind of like hang it out to the right short of the green and let it bounce on.
Yeah, like the front center, like the front middle part of the green is like where you want the ball to probably land, and that's. I think there's two things I want to call out about this hole. A, it's 536 yards, so even if you bomb a drive, you're gonna have a long iron in, and it's a small green, water short left. The whole green funnels to the water, so if you miss, even if you hit it on the green, there's still a chance it rolls into the water. And another thing is, it looks like there's so much room right. It's like I could just blow it away right, miss it right, and be okay. That is a impossible chip shot over like right of the green. Like the green's like sits up elevated, and then it all slopes away from you to the water. So like having to deal with the fact that it's raised and then it slopes away from you is just a really, really, really tough shot. I think you'll see people, if you blow it out right, hit like a low runner into the hill. Because I don't know how well you can like hit a flop shot or hit something higher, and get it to stop. You know, the real play, unless you is probably going to be bouncing it into the slope. So
really quick here. I might be wrong in this, but it's all fairways. It's all fairway in front of that because in front of 12 tees, it's all fairway. So that even makes the right miss harder because normally if you have to hit like a flop shot, it's nice to be able to kind of land it, I don't know, 2 yards off the green in like the heavy rough and just let it fluff down and it kind of catches it and then it'll just trickle onto the green. But here, since it's all fairway and it's straight downhill, it's just you're hitting it onto concrete. There's no landing zone. You know what I mean? You have
nothing
to
kill the bounce. Yeah.
Right. You got to land it right on top of the hill and just let it trickle down. Perfect.
And if there was rough over there,
such a hard shot.
If there was rough over there, you hit it into the rough right of the green. You can hit it like out of the rough. You can hit it higher. Like you can get under the palm more. But like it's just a tight. Mm-hmm. It's a really tight lie. All like this entire hole, all the way into 12
exactly.
over the right. So it's trying to hit something really high off that tight lie is just not easy at all. So. Mm-hmm. This is a big boy golf hole. This is a big fucking boy golf hole. For sure.
If you see anybody on the broadcast this week, long right of 11, stop and watch because it's going to be a spectacle. It's like you said, it's good luck just getting the ball to stay on the green even, and then also the second shot coming in. I mean, it's such an interesting shot coming. They're going to be anywhere from 180, I would say, to 200. Maybe 210, maybe pushing even 220. Like having a 4-iron or 3-iron into this green and trying to get the ball to stop. It's gonna be fun to watch
for sure.
What I love about this course too is it opens up the door for a little bit of creativity, and we don't get to see that very often in the PGA Tour. I mean, you get to see it every once in a while, but not every single course they play can you hit a 4-iron 220, land it 15 yards short of the green, and roll it up to 2 inches. You know, so like what I love about my point I'm trying to make is what I love about this hole is if you just sit here and watch these approach shots into 11, you're gonna get so many different types of shots. Guys are flying it all the way to the pin, spinning it back a little bit, you know, or flying it just under the front of the green, letting it roll out, flying it 15 yards short of the green and letting it roll out and take the slope, you know. So not only is that approach shot incredibly interesting to watch because you're going to get so many different shots, but also if they, you know, if they fuck up, hopefully they don't, but if they do fuck up, then that next shot is even more interesting to watch. You know, it's like it never ends.
And I would say that's even true for this whole golf course.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, for sure.
It's just
that's why this is awesome.
Yeah, it's why it's one of the best in the world.
Yeah. So much creativity on all these shots. I love it.
All right, so now we got to go to hole number 12, the make or break. Every tournament winner who's like, oh, he's gonna win. This is the hole right here.
Yep,
this is the hole.
Always in the back of your mind if you have a lead on Sunday is this
hole number 12.
This is the hole you chunk it into.
This is the hole you're thinking about on the range.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Driving down Magnolia Lane, you're like, I don't know what I'm gonna do on 12 today. Oh gosh. And I would say so. A few things to mention. Obviously, you're gonna watch the players come Sunday, and if you watch out on 11 green, you'll see a lot of the caddies look over and see what the other players are doing in the group ahead of them. You'll also see them looking on 12 tee box to 11 green to see what the wind's doing. Yep. And all of it does not matter because it's changing every second.
Yeah. So I think the point here, just even looking at this course map, is it's kind of like it's a weird mix of wide open land and then like a tree corridor surrounding it. So the wind on this hole notoriously swirls around the trees in there. And like you might throw some grass up and get the wind going one direction, and then 2 seconds later throw it up and it's going a different direction. So to make that even harder is how narrow the green is. Like it's like 10 paces long. You have 10 paces that you have to land it to hold the green. Anything short is probably going to go in the water. Even if you land on the front edge of the green and it doesn't catch the bunker right there short, it's going to roll into the water. So I mean, and then if you hit in the bunkers long, the whole green runs away from you. So that's a really hard bunker shot and probably a bogey also. So, I mean, it just, but the cool thing is it's only 155 yard hole. So it's not like it's a lot of these guys can hit wedge, like a full pitching wedge or like into this green, but just with the wind, the circumstance and how narrow the green is, it all adds up to just a really really interesting shot.
And I saw something really interesting from Scott Fawcett, the Decade Golf guy.
Yeah.
So you think about it. So let's say you got 155, you're hitting a 9-iron, no wind, right? You're looking at this hole and you're going, this calls for a fade as a right-hander. But when you hit a fade, or the shot dispersion pattern is not a perfect circle when you're hitting, right? So if you're hitting a fade, it's gonna go a few yards shorter, and if you if you push it, it's gonna go a few yards. You're opening up the club face. Now, if you pull it or you try and hit a draw, it might go a few yards farther because you're shutting down, you're taking loft off the club.
Yeah.
So that shot pattern for righty is kind of like a 45-degree angle going from the right to the left, going up, right? So these players, the reason you see so many balls in the water is they go, I got to hit this fade. I'm going to attack that Sunday pin on the right, which is a big no-no. You got to go for the middle of the green. You're going to hear it a million times on the broadcast. But that's the reason why is they're like, oh, I can hit a fade, and if I overfade a little bit, it's still going to get up there. It's going to be closer to the pin. Well, no, it's going to be a few yards shorter. You're only 4 paces onto the front of the green. It's going to roll back into the water. You're chipping for 3. And that is why I'm a lefty. As a lefty, if I do try and hit a fade, I can hit a fade off the pin and just put it in the middle of the green and be lucky me, 20-footer for birdie.
That's funny you mentioned that. Oh, sorry, Farrar. I was going to say really quick. That's funny you mentioned that because that was the point that I was going to make. Is this hole doesn't really set up for like a nice easy draw or a nice easy cut. Like it's not a hole. It's not a hole that fits the eye very well for any type of shot. Yeah, which makes it super
especially
interesting.
for a lefty. It's actually a significantly easier shot.
Yeah, because if you miss it right on the, like, if it's usually going to be a pull, it's going to go a few yards farther, so you take the water out of play. And if you can cut it back into, if you cut it, there's more room left. The water, like the carry, you can see how the water race creek there. It gets closer, or it gets closer to the green as you get further right. So if you miss it left as a lefty, that is interesting. I don't think I ever knew that a lefty does kind of have an advantage here.
Yeah. This is the only hole. This is the reason they say that Augusta is built for lefties.
Yeah, this isn't the only
this hole specifically.
Because of this hole.
But the point I wanted to make is I think these guys are so good that they should have a low-flighted 155-yard shot in the bag, and they should have been working on that for the past 2.5 weeks. Like, the shot's coming. The wind's going to be a factor. If you can take the wind out of play by hitting something lower and still flying it 155 yards, that you gotta have that shot. You can't be hitting some moon ball and letting the wind decide what the ball is going to do on this hole. You gotta hit something low, penetrating. A draw for a righty for sure would be, in my, like, the safest shot. But I can't wait to see what carnage happens with ball this year.
And also this year, I'm pretty sure it's supposed to rain quite a few of the days. So.
I just pulled up the weather forecast. Saturday, Sunday, showers. Friday, chance of showers also. So it's looking like, and it's going to be cold on Saturday.
It's going to be soft. So
it could be soft as we get to Sunday.
So hitting it even lower, just plays even better into those conditions.
Yeah.
A little nugget about Augusta. I think everyone knows this, but they have a drainage system under every green that they can control exactly how firm or how soft the greens are, because they can suck, like, the system sucks water out of the greens, or like can add water to the greens if they're too firm. So even if they get a bunch of rain,
I've heard of that.
Even if they get a bunch of rain,
it's like a couple of mil per green.
Per green, yeah. They have unlimited money. There's no shortage of money at Augusta National.
Yeah, definitely not.
I don't know. Although you think maybe they'll play softer in the fairways because they probably don't have that technology in all the fairways. But I think under greens and stuff, they may play a little bit softer, but like they have so much technology that can control the softness and firmness of the greens that I don't know.
I would just say, I think they will play a little bit softer just because if it's supposed to rain every single day, there's just no way to pull that much moisture out. But who knows? Maybe they have technology that NASA doesn't even have, which I would be surprised.
I wouldn't be surprised. They have more money than NASA, probably, combined with all the members. So
true.
But yeah, so those 3 holes are just 10, 11, 12 are paramount to shooting a low score, playing well, coming down the stretch, winning the Masters.
If you play those even par, you're probably not losing any strokes, maybe even gaining a little bit of strokes on the field. If you play those under par, you are
Definitely.
gaining strokes on the field on those holes without a doubt.
Absolutely.
Yep.
And then on top of that, 13's got a new look. Sure, I'm sure everybody's seen something about that somewhere. But it'd be interesting to see how they play that now.
30 yards longer. That hole used to be able to kind of cut the corner. It's a dogleg left, and you can cut the corner and really have like a short mid iron into the green. Now it's gonna be different. It's
long iron with a ball at your hip.
Yeah.
At hip height. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
Well, cannot wait.
This could be awesome.
Hopefully, we provided you guys some insight, got everyone excited, because I know for sure we are. We'll leave it with that.
Absolutely.
See you from Augusta National.
See you from the place.
Yeah, we'll see Ferrara from the crow's nest.
Look for look for a tall, lanky dude in the crowd. That's probably.
Oh, absolutely. I'd say text us and tell us where you're at, but no phones allowed.
No phones allowed. I know. I would love to take pictures. One last little nugget.
Kodak moment.
I was at the Masters in 2016 also, and not to talk about anything about what happened at the golf tournament, but we stayed for the jacket ceremony, watched Danny Willett give his speech after he won. And then by then, 99% of the people had left the Masters, and we parked off of hole 13. So I walked down 10, 11, 12 on golden hour sunset. No, me and my dad were the only two people on the course at the time. And that was the coolest, most surreal, couple of 15-minute walk of my life. And God, I can't wait to get back. So I'll leave everyone with that.
So jealous.
You better have some field notes for us when you get back too. You
I'll bring my notepad.
Let us know how Corey's feeling after his win on Sunday.
I will.
Corey, I'm a huge fan of Kent State.
Go Flashes.
I was born and raised in. Honestly, if you went up to Corey Connors though and you were like, "Yo, man, I was born and raised in Kent," I love Kent State. I love watching you play golf. He would love it, dude. He would love it.
For sure.
He seems like the man.
All
right. Fuck off, everybody. See you later.
Wow, that's aggressive. Cheers.
Cheers, mate.